What's up everyone, it's Mike, and today we're going to be talking about credit cards and how you can use these bad boys to get yourself a free first-class flight valued at over $7,000, as well as a ton of other awesome benefits every time you travel. So let's get into it. This isn't going to be one of those sign up for 50 different credit card videos to accumulate all the points from this one and that one, which, don't get me wrong, is a great way to go, but that's an entirely different rabbit hole. The purpose of this video is to make sure you guys aren't missing out on the simple rewards and the benefits that take hardly any extra effort or planning. Stick around to the end and I'll tell you why I chose the card that I have and why I think you should do the same. Earlier this year, my girlfriend and I got the chance to go to Thailand, which was one of the coolest places I've ever been to. We did a ton of cool stuff like Thai cooking classes and swimming with elephants. And guys, please, if you do go and swim with the elephants, make sure you're going to a sanctuary and one of the places that actually rescues the elephants, not the ones that you pay to ride. But one of the cool parts about the trip was that the vacation actually started the moment we got to the airport, not when we arrived in Thailand. The flight we got going to Thailand was a first class ticket, which normally runs anywhere from 7 to 10 grand, and we got it completely free using the points from the credit card that we have. All it took was about 90,000 points, which after signing up for the credit card, you automatically get 50,000, and over a couple of years, you can easily rack up the remainder in points depending on how much you spend. Of course, you don't have to use all those points for a first class ticket, but if you really want to maximize the value of them, that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. I thought it was pretty awesome to be able to get a 10 grand ticket for basically nothing, and by the time I got to Thailand, I felt more relaxed than I left, having traveled for a full 24 hours, which was pretty incredible. Happy. There are basically two main credit cards I would recommend to anyone who travels and wants to start racking up points without having to go through a bunch of extra hoops. You can't go wrong with either one of these, and the differences are really going to depend on your particular spending habit. The first is the American Express Platinum card, which I do not actually have since it's similar to the other one that I do use. The Amex Platinum has a $550 annual fee, but you get a $200 credit on airfare, as well as a $15 a month credit on Uber rides in the months of January through November, which then bumps up to a $35 credit in December. So basically you get a total of a $200 Uber credit with the Amex Platinum. I assume everybody will also get the $200 credit on airfare, because it really only takes one flight a year to get that, and the Uber credit may be a little harder to get since it's spread out over every month, but if you do take advantage of all the credits that are offered, essentially the card is costing you $150 per year. Amex does lose some favor in my opinion for making the $200 Uber credit way more complicated than it needs to be, and people don't really like complicated, neither do I. If anyone from Amex sees this, you really should make it a flat $200 credit for the full year and don't break it out monthly.
Come on!
One of the great benefits of this card is it has 5x points on travel and hotels, and for other common categories like dining or travel expenses like rental cars, it only gets 1 point. So it's great if you spend a ton on airfare, but once again, too complicated in my opinion, since there's all these different point categories and they all have different values, and really nobody can keep track of that kind of stuff. The best benefit that it does have over the Sapphire Reserve Card is that it gets you access to the Centurion lounges at airports, as well as the Delta Sky Club if you are flying Delta. If you don't mind potentially paying a little bit more, assuming you don't take full advantage of the Uber credit, but getting access to the Centurion Lounge and the Delta Sky Club is worth it for you, and you travel enough to take advantage of it, then that's where I would probably recommend this card. But for most people, I think it's a better option without having to do a bunch of complex calculations to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve Card. This is the card that I have, and I absolutely love it. I first started with the Sapphire Preferred card, which came out before the Reserve card, but as soon as this one came out, I signed up and downgraded my Preferred to a free card. Also, if you ever do have a card that has an annual fee and you aren't taking advantage of all the rewards that it offers, you can downgrade that card to a free version in order to keep all the credit history on that account, which is something that you definitely want to do. You never want to be closing an account that has a long credit history on it. So let's talk about the Chase Reserve Card. There is a $450 annual fee, but every year you get a statement credit of $300, assuming you spend at least $300 on travel of any kind. And this can be flight, hotel, Uber. So it's pretty easy to rack up in a year. You don't have to track anything. You just automatically see a credit on your monthly statement for that first $300 that you spend. So after applying the $300 credit, it really only costs you $150. I give the benefit to the Reserve Card here since you're almost guaranteed to hit the $300 travel credit, while you may miss getting the full Uber credit benefit with the Amex card if you don't take Uber every month. Let's get into what all the benefits are that you get for spending that $150. The Reserve Card's points categories are a little bit simpler, so you get 3x points on any airfare, hotel, travel, and dining. If you want just one card to use and maximize your points, this is definitely the way to go. You also get the global entry or TSA Precheck registration fee waived, which if you do not have, I highly recommend anytime you travel because it can save you a ton of time from having to wait in the line that most people wait in, and you don't have to take off your shoes or take out your laptop. It makes traveling way easier. Precheck or global entry normally costs around $100, so make sure you take advantage of that as soon as you get this card. It also gives you baggage delay insurance, which reimburses you for essential purchases like clothing anytime your bag is delayed over 6 hours, and you can spend up to $100 a day for up to 5 days. One of the benefits that I actually recently just took advantage of was the trip delay reimbursement. So if your trip is delayed more than 6 hours or requires an overnight stay, you get basically any meal or hotel expense paid for up to $500 per ticket. So when I was flying last month, my flight got delayed. I had to take an Uber to a hotel, pay for a hotel, then get a rental car and drive to my final destination, which in total was about $350 worth of charges, which I got reimbursed by Chase. All you had to do is go into their portal, submit your receipts, and they take care of the rest. Lost luggage reimbursement is also one of the great benefits. If for whatever reason you lose a bag while traveling, they'll cover you up to $3,000. If you ever get rental cars, you also get rental car collision damage waivers. So you don't have to pay for the insurance from the car company, and you're covered up to $75,000 for any theft or collision damage to the vehicle. One of those things you probably never have to use, but the peace of mind counts for something. The benefit that I get the most advantage of every time I fly is the access to the priority pass lounges, and there are hundreds of these scattered throughout the US as well as throughout the world. Typically, these lounges all have beer and wine, so if you want to relax a little bit before your flight, you can do that. And they usually also have other refreshments such as chips, coffee, and a bunch of other stuff. Some lounges are better than others. Like on my last flight to LA, since there actually was no lounge, the Priority Pass gave me a $25 dining credit at the restaurant near my gate. That was pretty cool to get a free meal. And you can also bring your travel partner with you, so that's one of the benefits. You get access not just for yourself, but whoever you're traveling with. So those are the main perks that I typically utilize with my card, and I'll put a link in the description below to the full list of benefits for both cards so you guys can compare and see which is right for you. But to summarize, for most people that are probably too busy to actually track points down to the individual category, I think the Sapphire Reserve Card is best because of all the travel reimbursement insurance that it offers. If you guys do want to see a more in-depth video on how to credit card hack your way to thousands of points, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk about that more. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. More personal finance tips are coming your way in future videos, and I'd love to hear from you about what credit card you've been using. If you have any other questions about the Reserve Card, let me know in the comments below. We'll see you guys next time.